NBC renews Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, and Chicago PD for new seasons. If there is one thing certain during a time when network TV isn't quite what it used to be, NBC will stand behind its procedural dramas that continue to perform well on the lineup. Some of the strongest performers on the network continue to be the One Chicago franchise, consisting of Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med, all produced by Dick Wolf's Wolf Entertainment banner. With the networks finalizing their schedules for the 2025 to 26 season, NBC has finally decided where the franchise stands, and it should please fans of all three shows. Per Variety, NBC has renewed Chicago Fire for Season 14, Chicago PD for Season 13, and Chicago Med for Season 11. To confirm the renewals, the network took to social media to post a video that features various members of the cast of Chicago Fire revealing the good news. All three Chicago shows returning was always in the cards, and it was just a matter of behind-the-scenes cost trimming that needed to be done to finalize the decision. As is the case with most long-running series, budgets tend to increase because a show becomes more expensive as it goes along. NBC and Universal Television, the studio that is involved with all the Wolf Entertainment shows, including Law and Order, SVU, have been working the last few seasons to bring down the costs of their titles. As One Chicago was heading into the 2022 to 23 season, the minimum guarantees of the majority of the cast across all the shows were reduced as a cost-cutting measure. This practice has been put in place for a lot of long-running dramas, basically indicating that series regulars won't appear in every episode to keep budgets manageable. According to some of the guarantees for the upcoming season, some regulars might now appear in about 2 to 4 episodes, and cast members are being asked to relocate to Chicago, where the series is filmed. Should they not, their guarantees could be reduced even more. There are a few more wrinkles with some of the shows, even though their returns are guaranteed. Some of the longer-running members of the cast saw their contracts come to an end this season, and they need to be renegotiated. Actors such as Taylor Kinney, a veteran of the Chicago Fire cast, are in talks with the network now to iron out new contracts, while some other cast members won't be returning, again as a cost-saving measure. That being said, the One Chicago franchise is still very successful for NBC and continues to dominate their linear ratings as well as streaming numbers on Peacock. Across NBC and the streaming platform, the network claims that all three Chicago shows have reached about 46 million total viewers this season, and their streaming performance has all increased year to year. NBC also declares that the Chicago franchise is the most-watched drama brand on broadcast television and continues to give them a win on Wednesday nights. An episode count for next season is still being worked out for all three of the shows, although it's possible that they may be a bit lower compared to this season, as has been the practice in recent years on network TV to save money. Even if the episode count is reduced by a short amount, fans will still be pleased that their comfort food television won't be going anywhere anytime soon, and One Chicago lives on. In a move that feels as warm and satisfying as a deep dish pizza on a winter night, NBC has officially renewed its powerhouse One Chicago franchise, Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, and Chicago PD, for new seasons. The announcement electrified fans who have stood by the gritty, heartfelt, and action-packed shows, many since their pilot episodes. With this trio continuing to blaze, heal, and patrol their way through Wednesday nights, the Windy City remains the emotional epicenter of NBC's primetime drama slate. The heartbeat of Chicago Med. Chicago Med will be scrubbing in for its 10th season, and its pulse has never been stronger. The show has carved out a unique space as a medical drama that blends ethical dilemmas, frenetic ER action, and intensely personal character arcs. From Dr. Crockett Marcel's haunted past to Dr. Charles' psychological insights, the show has consistently managed to balance raw trauma with emotional healing. And let's not forget Sharon Goodwin, the hospital's moral compass, who anchors the team with her fierce compassion. This renewal signals a new chapter for Gaffney Chicago Medical Center, promising to bring fresh faces, groundbreaking medical cases, and more tangled romantic entanglements to fans who love their drama with a side of defibrillation. Could this be the season where Will Halstead finally finds lasting love? Or will the specter of past mistakes haunt him yet again? One thing's for sure, viewers will be tuning in to find out. Chicago Fire, still blazing after all these years. For Chicago Fire, which will be entering its 13th season, the renewal is more than just a continuation. It's a celebration of staying power. What began as a story about the brave firefighters of Firehouse 51 has evolved into an epic of camaraderie, sacrifice, and personal evolution. The memory of Otis still lingers in the station's walls, while Stella Kidd and Kelly Severide's love story continues to smolder, even if Severide's frequent disappearances make fans want to douse him with cold water. In the upcoming season, viewers can expect more high-octane rescues, a few literal explosions, and the ever-present threat of tragedy looming just around the corner. But Chicago Fire has never been just about the action. It's about found family. Whether it's Joe Cruz stepping into his role as a father and mentor or Gallo grappling with his future, the show knows how to balance the blaze with the heart. And yes, fingers are crossed for more of Mouch's surprisingly touching and often hilarious side quests. Chicago PD marches on with moral complexity. Chicago PD's 12th season is officially on the docket, and its renewal reaffirms NBC's faith in its grittiest One Chicago entry. Led by the enigmatic and morally gray Surgeon Hank Voight, the intelligence unit continues to navigate Chicago's criminal underworld, with a badge in one hand and justice in the other, sometimes by any means necessary. The new season is poised to dive deeper into the inner conflicts of its characters. Fans are still reeling from the departure of Jessa Lee Soffer's Jay Halstead, and Haley Upton's slow-burning breakdown has added new layers of complexity. Will she finally walk away from the badge, or will Voight pull her back in with one of his infamous "Trust Me" speeches? The show thrives on tension, not just between cops and criminals, but within the squad itself. As the city shifts, so too does the line between right and wrong. Chicago PD keeps asking the hard questions, and its audience keeps coming back for the uncomfortable truths. A unified force, the power of the One Chicago universe. The One Chicago franchise is more than just 3 shows. It's an interconnected universe that allows crossovers, shared character arcs, and the kind of storytelling depth that rewards long-term viewers. When someone from Med rushes to save a firefighter from fire, or when a PV detective questions a nurse about a mysterious overdose, it's not just fan service, it's world building at its finest.